Dear students, welcome back to Database Management Systems Week 8. So today we are going to talk about Introduction to MySQL. So up to this point, we have talked about normalization, ER diagrams, EER diagrams, ER mapping to relational schema, EER mapping to relational schema, and finally normalization. So today what we are going to talk about is Introduction to MySQL. So I know that you are doing your project now. So I hope that you have installed these softwares, these applications in your computer, in your laptop already. Let's move on. So in this lesson, you will learn the basics about MySQL. So it is important to know how to set up and use a relational database management system. Okay, so relational database management system. Relational, a database management system which uses tables. So for example, we can say Microsoft, Oracle, MySQL, these kind of RDBMSs are there. So you can see. Examples for RDBMSs. You can see SQLite, MySQL, Amazon RDB, MariaDB, then Oracle database, Microsoft SQL Server, IBM DB2, right? So much. Examples comes here. Please remember these names. So learning outcomes, after completing this lesson, you will know how to set up and use MySQL through command line and through GUI, graphical user interface. In the first few weeks, we have learned about basic concepts related to RDBMS, MySQL, Oracle, and Microsoft SQL Server are some of the RDBMS available. So in this ITE 2422 module, we will be using MySQL, right? You know, there are few MySQL, Oracle, Microsoft SQL, and I have shown you a few more. But now in this module, we will be using MySQL. Thus, in this lesson, you will get to know the basics of installing MySQL, installing and using MySQL, as it will be important when you're creating an actual database. So what is MySQL then? MySQL is an Oracle-backed open source relational database management system. Open source, Oracle-backed open source. So open source software, right? Open source relational database management system. It runs on almost all the platforms, including Windows, Mac, Linux, Unix. Doesn't matter. It's not depending on a platform, right? It's not depending on a platform. So MySQL is mostly used on the web-based applications, both small and large applications, mainly on web-based applications. It has been used by popular sites like Wikipedia, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Let's see. MySQL. Okay, MySQL is used by many database-driven web applications, including Drupal, Joomla, PHP, WordPress. MySQL is also used by many popular websites such as Facebook, Flickr, MediaWiki, Twitter, and, of course, the most famous, YouTube. Okay, this is the MySQL logo. So MySQL is based on a client-server model. You know what is a client-server, right? So client requests services from the server, and the server provides and responds for those service requests and provide the mentioned service. The client requests the service from the server. As for the request, the server provides the services. So MySQL is basically working as a client server model. So MySQL server handles all the database commands. MySQL client sends these commands to the MySQL server. MySQL client sends these commands to the MySQL server. Client server model. MySQL client is installed on a computer, and there are several command line programs and administration tools such as MySQL Workbench. MySQL client is installed on a computer. Client is always in the client. A client is always in the computer. Of a mentioned, let's say the client-side computer, and there are several command line programs and administration tools such as MySQL Workbench. For security, MySQL uses an access privilege and encrypted password system. So we will learn this about in another lesson. So now you know what is access privileging and encrypted password. I think you have already learned about these words. Access privilege. That means not every person can get inside this database or log in the database. You have to have a password, and mentioned passwords has to be correctly input, as you have can gain the privilege of accessing the database. Otherwise, you will not. And the passwords inside can be encrypted, MySQL is offered under two different editions, such as open source MySQL community server, open source MySQL community server, open source MySQL community server, and the proprietary enterprise server. So what is proprietary? Proprietary in the sense means you have to give some sort of a fee in order to get the services. Proprietary. Let's see. Right. Proprietary. To get the proprietary of the software, you have to give some sort of a fee. That fee comes in a sort of a subscription. Okay. So proprietary means himikaritha and right. Tanu remind. Right. So this is proprietary in Tamil. Subscription based. Okay. So install MySQL. We can install MySQL RDBMS in different ways. You can download MySQL from the following link. Okay, so we will download the MySQL Community Edition. The most common types of GUIs used to interact with MySQL databases are MySQL Workbench and PHP-MyAdmin. The most common types of GUIs used to interact with MySQL databases. The common type of GUIs which we use to interact with the MySQL database is called MySQL Workbench and PHP-MyAdmin. So these two are GUIs. These two are GUIs. Okay. Right. Workbench, MySQL Workbench, and PHP-MyAdmin. MySQL Workbench and PHP-MyAdmin. These are GUIs. These are GUIs. that you can use to interact with MySQL database. Okay, right. Right, okay. So now, other than that, we can interact through the command line as well. No worries. So if you can use my PHP myadmin to interact with these kind of GUIs to interact with MySQL database. Or other than that, we can simply use CLIs, command line interfaces, to interact with MySQL database. So how to install MySQL Workbench? So here, let's see installing MySQL. So here you can download MySQL, the following link. We will download the MySQL Community Edition. You can download MySQL Community Edition from here, from this link. Okay. So install MySQL from there. Right. How to install MySQL Workbench? So MySQL Workbench is the official integrated environment for MySQL. It enables users to graphically administer MySQL databases and visually design database structures, right? It's the MySQL Workbench is the official integrated environment for MySQL. So you can download it from MySQL downloads page. Okay. So let's go and see that as well. Okay. You can download from here. Okay. This is MySQL Workbench 8.33. Okay. So you can download that from there as well. So here I think 8.016 is there, right? You can see the version of it. So I recommend you to download. If you are doing it from MySQL Workbench, I recommend you to download the newest version. Okay. So installation guidelines are available here. Installation guidelines, requirements for Windows. You can see the requirements and Microsoft Windows 11 or Windows Server 2022. Installing using MySQL installer, right? So you can see the whole guideline here. I don't think that doesn't matter. I mean, like talking it won't matter. I mean, like talking about these things. I think it's a waste of time because I think you have already done this, and because you are doing your project, I think you have already installed this as well. So, but remember, so if you have not set MySQL connection, click plus mark here in MySQL connections, then you can set a new connection. So anyway, uh, I'm not going to install MySQL Workbench. Why? Why is that? I am going to install PHP myadmin. Okay, so I'm going to do this from this PHP myadmin. So because of that, I'm not going to use MySQL Workbench. But anyway, if anyone wants to, do it as to try it out, I think you are more than welcome to install MySQL Workbench. Okay, but let's try it from PHP myadmin. So PHP myadmin is a free and open source tool written in PHP to handle the administration of MySQL. administration of MySQL with the use of a web browser. So we can get it by installing XAMPP. So I hope that you have already installed XAMPP, right? If you are using Windows operating system, then you can install WAM, XAMPP and WAM. So either way, you can install XAMPP. Let's see how to install XAMPP. All right, so you can see here when you go here, XAMPP is, this is the interface, right? This is the interface. Right, download and install XAMPP for PHP 5 for Windows. Okay. And it is important to select the proper version PHP as there are many choices. Double click the installer and start installing. Install on the root of C drive. If you do not, some functions of XAMPP may have restrictions and you will be required to change some settings. So the recommendation is install XAMPP where you have already installed Windows. So double click on the new XAMPP control desktop shortcut to open XAMPP and control panel applications. Right, let's see. I have not installed XAMPP, so let's install XAMPP. So I'm going to install XAMPP. Its version. You can see when I click that version, it has to start download automatically. Here, your download will start automatically if it doesn't click here. So let's see whether it will. Yes, it is. It has started automatically. You can see it from here. XAMPP is downloading. So what I'm going to do now is after downloading XAMPP, I will come back and talk about it. So there are 149 megabytes to be downloaded. Okay, so give me a few minutes and we are going to talk about furthermore about XAMPP. Okay, students, now you can see that my download has been completed. So let's go and see where it is being downloaded. Okay. Oops, sorry. It's downloaded here. XAMPP Windows 64 8.2.0 version. So now it is been downloaded. Let's install this. So now you will get a interface like that. Welcome to XAMPP setup wizard. Next. So I'm going to install in C. Next, select folder is not. The selected folder is not empty. Please select a different folder. So I think I already have XAMPP. That's why. Let's see if I have XAMPP. Yes, I already have XAMPP here. That is why it's not giving me the. So if you next and then press finish, this will be installed. Okay, right. Okay, just give me a minute. I will see whether my installed version is a new version, and I will come back to you. Okay, so now you can see when you click next and next, there will be a little drop down menu to select your language. So I select it as English, then press next. And then what will happen? The XAMPP will be unpacked to your C drive, and it will take a little bit of time. Okay, it will take a little bit of time. So because of that, I will pause the video for 2-3 minutes, and I will come back again. Right. In the meantime, please, if you have already installed XAMPP, it doesn't matter. But if you have not installed, please install it by now, because we need XAMPP for all the practicals. Because we, in order to get we need PHP MyAdmin, right? So in order to get that, we need XAMPP. So please install XAMPP, or if you have already done, doesn't matter. But the other thing which I wanted to tell you is that for practical exams, please remember, to your practical exams, you will have to type your SQL commands in a CLI, not a GUI, in CLI. Understand? And what you have to do is, you basically last time as well, you will have to type all the commands in a notepad, type all the commands in notepad, and upload the notepad, only the notepad. You have to type your commands in the notepad and upload the notepad. But anyway, you can try out all whether your commands are working by typing them in a CLI as well. Right? What I recommend you is type first. What you have to do is take a notepad. Okay. And then what you can do is, let's say, select all from employee, semicolon. So what you can do is type your command in a notepad. Okay. Then you can, to see whether, to double check whether this is working, you can copy this and paste in this command in the CLI and see. Okay. But other than that, please do not go to first type you can say everything in the CLI in every single one. The smallest one, the simplest commands, queries in the CLI, and see whether they are working. You have to have that confident to see that you are able to type everything in a notepad without testing everything. Okay, that confidence has to be gained. So please, what I can do is like 40% here or 20%, the other 80%, 60% of getting that experience has to come from your end. Okay, first what I recommend you to do is take a notepad, type it first in the notepad, because sometimes you will not have time. It's 1.5 hours, as I remember, 1.5 hours or 90 minutes. Okay, so yeah, 1.5 hours. So this 1.5 hours will quickly go. It's not a big time, right? So when you open the notepad, and when you close the notepad from that end to that end, opening and closing it, you will feel like the time flies. So what I recommend you to do is always type everything in the notepad, and if you have a doubt, only if you have a doubt, only if you have a doubt, type it in the CLI. I know, even like, so you have to type it in the CLI and see whether the queries are working. That's true. But for small queries like this, do not try to go and type it in the CLI. Just the most necessary queries, please type. Other than what I mean is, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time unnecessarily. Don't waste your time unnecessarily. And the other recommendation, the other point which I want to give you is, when you are typing these things in the notepad, please try to save it each and every time. Save it. Why I'm telling that is, if something happened with the computer, the time will go, 1.5 hours will be go, and the resolving that problem will take time as well, and it will take time from your 1.5 hours. So please save these commands, queries every time which is possible. Okay, right. Keep that in mind as well. Okay, so now I assume yes, installing, creating, uninstall. So now let's wait for another few minutes. Okay. So today, because of this practical examination, I am going to do most of the querying through CLI. Through CLI. Okay. Do you want to start the control panel? Yes, of course, I will need to start it. Let's see. Okay, so now you can see the control panel is being started. The control panel is being started. So now what you have to do is, yes, start these actions, the services, Apache and MySQL. Apache and MySQL. Okay, so now let's see. If you want to go to MySQL, go and select this admin button. Then localhost PHP myadmin will pop up. Localhost PHP my. Okay, so now PHP myadmin GUI is here. GUI is here. So you can start querying from here as well. For example, let's query. Yeah, let's see. Create database. Let's see. Employee semicolon. Always remember you have to put the semicolon. This is the full stop mark. So where you tell this query is finished from here. So now you can see it's very easy. The language is very easy, right? So what is this? Okay. Create database called employee. So then if I press go, you can see here a database will be created called employee. Look at this point here, this place here. Go. All right, the employee is there. Very good. So if you want to delete this, let's delete this here. Delete equals drop database employee. Then when I click go, you can see this will be deleted here. Okay, so now it disappeared. That means it got deleted. So yeah, likewise, you can type SQL through here as well. Doesn't matter, right? But let's see. The most important thing is how to run MySQL in command line. How to run MySQL in command line, because for your practical examination, you must do this there. You must do this there. So how to do that? How to do that? First of all, yes, these two are now running. Open your CMD. Very good. So now your CMD is here. So now you have to go to the place where you have installed SAM. So my one is C drive. Go to SAM. Go to, can you see MySQL? Or see, go to this folder, MySQL. So inside MySQL, you can find out another folder called bin. The bin, go to bin. Now you are inside the bin folder. Inside the bin folder, get the path like this. And now what I want you to do is you have to, now you know, in graphical user interfaces, right? You can, go to like this. You can click these folders and go inside the folders, or you can go back like this, go in front, back, or you can change the directories like this. But in command line, you cannot do it like that. So you have to give a command to do that. So what is the command you give in command line to go back to directory or go to another directory? It is cd. So what does cd stands for? Cd stands for change directory. Change directory. If you used with only a drive, let us see, cd displays the names of the current directory in the specified. If you used parameters, display, right, change directory. This first command from the list is cd called change directory. Okay, now let's see. So now you can see you have copied this path. Okay, take this and paste it here, right? And then press enter. Right, now you can see you are inside MySQL bin. You are inside MySQL bin. Okay, understand? So let's see. Let's go to your document. Yes. I will come here. Please don't worry. I will come here and I will tell about that as well. So for now, let's see. Bin, enter to run MySQL. So now you are inside the bin. Doesn't matter. So in order to run MySQL now, what should you do? Now you are inside the bin folder, but still MySQL is not running. So how to run MySQL? You can run MySQL like this. Type MySQL and like this. Dash and a U and give the username. The username. So if you have changed the username and the password, you can provide it here. If you have changed the username and password, because you are now doing your project, sometimes you will change your username and password in the MySQL. So, but if you have not, you can give the root as the username and -p for the password. So when you press this one, press enter, it will ask for a password now. So if you have not given a password, hear me out. If you have not given the password, all right, if your username is default root, and if you have not given a password here, no need to enter the password, just press enter. I just pressed enter. So now you can see you are inside MariaDB. Of course, you have done the task properly now, right? If you have done the task properly, you will be inside MariaDB. Doesn't matter whether this is MySQL or MariaDB, right? Here, you can see it is MySQL. My one is MariaDB. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter, right? So now you have successfully run MySQL in command line. Let's see whether this is successful or not later, but now I will go to this part here. So let's see. So now if your computer already have MySQL Workbench, if your computer already is running MySQL Workbench, you will not be allowed to run MySQL via SAMP. Understand? If MySQL workbench is already installed and it is running, you will not be allowed to run MySQL via SAM. Because why? Because the port is being occupied by the MySQL workbench. Right? Ports are being occupied by the MySQL workbench. If you are not allowed to run, go to system configurations and stop MySQL. Right? If you want, sorry, yeah, go to run system configuration and stop MySQL as shown is figure 11.7 here. Right? So if you want to work in MySQL workbench, you need to stop MySQL server via SAM. So this is basically if you have installed MySQL workbench and you need to start doing your MySQL experiments from XAMPP, you have to stop my workbench first. So if you have installed MySQL server via XAMPP and you need to work from MySQL workbench, then you have to remove or you have to stop MySQL server via XAMPP. You have to stop XAMPP. All right. Understand? So it works like if you need to stop work in SAM and if workbench is already there, stop workbench. And if you want to work with workbench, if SAMP is already there, stop SAMP. So you can see here system configurations. Now what we are going to do is if you are not allowed to run, go to system configuration and stop MySQL, right? If you are already running MySQL workbench, you will not be allowed to run MySQL via XAMPP. So what you have to do is control panel as a port is being used by another. If you are not allowed to run, go to system configurations and stop MySQL. So how to go to system configurations? Just type system configurations. Go to services and see whether that service is running. MySQL 557. So let's see. Right. So you can see here, that is how you are going to do. Please do it. But my one, I'm not going to do it. As you can see, I have not installed Workbench. I have only installed SAM. Okay. So no need to do it in my one. I can freely do it. But anyway, if that problem arises with you, you have to do that. Okay. You have to do that. Right. But in the practical examinations, don't worry. Already, you can go to this command prompt and you can make what I did now. Go to MySQL via command line and do. Doesn't matter. Okay. So now I told you that now my MySQL is running through the command line. So if this is correctly done, I can access MySQL through CLI. So let's see. Let's go to our local hosts. Okay. So this is our local host. Now you can see there are already defaultly created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 databases. These are default databases. Understand? Information schema, MySQL, performance schema, PHP, MyAdmin, and test. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 databases are already being created. Understand? So let's create another database just to see whether I can reach these databases through my command line. Create database called, let's say I will create database called university. university and press go. Okay, now university comes. If though I have used capital letter here, it comes as simple letter, it doesn't matter. Okay, so I have used now I have made a database called university. You can see no tables are inside yet. No tables are inside yet. But here you can see, let's see, yeah, now you can see few tables and all, but nothing is inside this university table, right? I just have created the database. Just I have created database. So let's see from MariaDB here. I can, so if I have successfully created or I have reached this MySQL through the CLI, not through the GUI, PHP MyAdmin, but through the CLI, I will be able to access these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 databases inside MySQL. Yes, I have created the university database through my GUI, PHP, MyAdmin. It doesn't matter. So it is now a part of my MySQL. So because of that, we can see this as well. Let's see. So the command for that is show databases, and you have to put the semicolon and press enter. Now you can see the databases which is inside MySQL. Information schema, MySQL, performance schema, PHP MyAdmin test, and of course the university database which I have created here. Right, so that means we have successfully reached MySQL from CLI and from my GUI as well. Okay. So I hope that you have learned some valuable information from lesson 11, Introduction to MySQL. Right. I hope that you will learn some more knowledge from lesson 12 as well. Okay, so we'll meet from another lecture, which is lesson 12 in the next video. Thank you.